operations, inside my own organization. But that's what we had to wind up doing, because there were people that were certainly against this effort, and only because of, again, their philosophical belief system. I had nothing to do. In fact, I had one. I remember the conversation very well. This is a person I respected tremendously, very, very senior person. He told me, he said, "Lou, I want you to stop doing this." I said, "Okay, sir, I certainly can, but may I ask why?" And he says, "Well, we already know what it is." Now, at that moment, I honestly thought maybe it was our own technology. I was running up against some super uber secret SAP, and they were telling me to stop. And I said, "Okay, sir, so it's ours?" And he said, "No, that's not what I'm saying." And he said, he asked me point blank, "Have you read your Bible lately?" And I wasn't quite sure where he was going with that. And I said, "Well, sir, I think I know what it says. Where are you going with this?" And he said, "Well, then you would know that these things are demonic, and we should not be pursuing them." Yeah, and he wasn't kidding. That's exactly how he felt.
So this is a Pentagon. This is a Department of Defense official saying, "Stop looking at UFOs because they're demonic."
Correct.
But if something demonic is flying over our skies, wouldn't religious people want to fight them?
Well, I think, look, I think no matter what it is, we need to figure it out. And there was a time, and this is, look, I'm a religious person, but there was a time where the church wouldn't even look through the telescope of Galileo because it conflicted with their narrative. Only to years later them to come out and actually now use the grandeur of the universe to support their philosophical and theological belief system. So I am under the presumption that more data is good, and I don't think we should ever be fearful of data. And it doesn't matter if they are, at the end of the day, some sort of super secret foreign adversarial technology that's leapfrogged us, or if it's little green men from Mars, or if it's demons. We probably need to figure it out because it's in our airspace. And by the way, it doesn't care if what we think, because it's there and it's interacting with not even that's just our military, but even civilian aircraft and civilians.